Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. We got a lot of volcanoes erupting. A lot of volcanoes. Over here, we're looking in Japan. And here you have one that's blasting ash 18,000 feet into the sky, coating towns in gray. Here, let's jump over to Guatemala on the other side of the Pacific. And you have an explosive eruption at Santa Maria volcano. And here we're taking a look at Etna in, again, the Mediterranean. So this is all over the world. Lots of activity going on. This activity over Etna is fluctuating. But 3 or more less active lava flows, strong Strombolian activity in one of the summit craters. It's not boring. Oh, it's not boring on planet Earth. We also have asteroids like this asteroid 2025 Q07. That reminds me of Queen Q07, 007. Yeah, that's weird. To fly past Earth at 0.7 lunar distance on August 31st. So it's going to be a close call. We get them closer than this. This is the 91st so far that we know about. This year, that's within a lunar distance, which is the distance between the moon to the Earth. Astronomical unit AU is the sun to Earth, which again, I don't think the distance they give is actually accurate when you get down to it. I don't think there's a lot accurate when it comes from the science.
Well, the science, it works for them for the moment.
I guess the way we look at it is we look at it as what are they trying to get us ready for? What are they trying to imprint into our consciousness? And we also see this article, ancient asteroid debris detected deep within Mars' mantle. So they're telling us that asteroid impacts in the past are a thing. And, we could actually find one deep inside Mars. So that must have been absolutely catastrophic. Now, they give that was 4.5 billion years ago, but they're putting it out there that it happens. We certainly know there's a lot of storms. We were talking about Alberta, Canada, perhaps breaking away from the rest of Canada. And what do we have? We have severe hailstorm causing widespread damage to crops and livestock to Alberta. Oh, the breakaway province. Imagine that. Meanwhile, flooding in Arkansas, Oklahoma as well. Records being set. Yeah, it's one place or another we see again. The type of weather that makes people build arcs is well underway. Oh, by the way, this was a cameraman who was getting ready for an eruption, and it was timed perfectly. Look at it's like he's got his best birthday cake ever.
Yeah, he did good. Good timing.
Talk about exciting. It is exciting to live in these times. Look at nature and kids. They always make the most out of being embodied. We need to do that. We need to enjoy life while we have it because, again, it is a blessing. Believe it or not. I mean, we are going through a real trial and tribulation point in time. But we're here to learn, to grow. And this boy is trying to teach football to a goat. And, maybe the goat will get it. I think he gets that part anyway.
Well, sometimes you don't have a lot of friends, so you just make do with what you have.
You could always find friends in the animal kingdom. Now, friends don't necessarily send flotillas of 7 U.S. warships and 4,500 troops off the coast of another friend. This is Venezuela, by the way. Major show of force underway in Venezuela, and we also have over here Mexican senators fighting in their version of Congress there. Wow, there's a lot of tensions as the possibility of U.S. military intervention grows into not just Venezuela but also our neighbor to the south, Mexico. None of us want to see that happen. I think about the past, and, the past is full of riddles. But if you're able to sense and tap into the energies that are there, you could definitely develop a clearer picture. Here you go, something out of a sci-fi movie. Aztecs found the ancient pyramid complex at Teotihuacan. It was already there. This is part of, again, the history where they tell us, oh, the Inca made this or the Aztecs made that. But no. They actually themselves would tell you it was giants that made this. It wasn't us. We just came in because, the area was empty. There wasn't anybody here. We found it to be a nice neighborhood, so we moved on into the neighborhood. After all, it was empty. Whoever built it, we heard that it was giants that built it. Well, they're no longer here. That makes me think of our conversation with Wayne yesterday. King Og, the Amorite king of Bashan. Remember, it's the winners that retell history in a light that they want you to understand that they're the good guys. So the king of Bashan deemed as invincible until Moses and the Israelites, killed them and took over, Canaan, or what was Canaan, in Ugarit, which, the Canaan dialect. Bashan literally means the place of the serpent. Ooh, wow, that's interesting, is it not? And these were huge beings. You see the sarcophagus was measuring 16 feet 6 inches in length, according to this post. I've read whole books on this. It's really fascinating. Bashan, it's stated that that area, again, of the quote-unquote Holy Land in the Middle East, not just Israel, but into Jordan, southern Syria, and Lebanon. Well, there were many hundreds of different towns in which thousands of people lived that ended up being completely empty. Not in the distant past either. Not in the way distant past. There's this line of thinking that a whole 1,000 years might have been added to our history that didn't really exist. It's really curious. Joseph Smith, the founder of the Latter-day Saint movement, again, the Mormon church, was led by an angel. Well, again, angel means messenger. He was a messenger of somebody. Somebody's messenger came and led him west, led him out of New York State, and eventually over to Utah. But when you looked at the Mormon territories, it was like the size of a country. It was big. They were actually at war with the U.S. government and also at war with the Native Americans at times. And it was fascinating because, everything is related to the Bible when you look at it, and everything is done in a biblical sense. So he had a vision for the settlement of the American West, particularly Utah, deeply rooted in his concept of building cities of Zion. Well, the original Zion there was Canaan, and it was inhabited by giants that were wiped out. And then, of course, the Romans took over, and you had the end of Israel as a country, the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 A.D., historically. But was it really the end of the system, so to speak, of one people and the beginning of something else? Or was it just a transition? It's really fascinating. When you look to Joseph Smith, he even said in his own journals that they were being led to cities, and they were given the location where these cities were going to be, that were devoid of people. There was nobody there. You're going to find empty cities. Again, messenger from God comes and tells them where their empty cities are going to be, and they did find them, and they did occupy them. What really is the story there? Well, I mean, we keep seeing these all the time. 5,000-year-old tombs discovered in Ibri reveal ancient Oman, Mesopotamian link. Again, everywhere we look around the world, we find all these discoveries. 8,800-year-old architecture. You certainly find a lot in Turkey and in Anatolia. There's tons. In fact, here's another one. Maybe it might even be older than Göbekli Tepe. Again, our history is one that's been covered up and buried for a reason. There's a huge reason. Why? Because there's been one group of people after another that seems to get replaced by another group. It could be terrifying when you look at it from that point of view, that there are beings that are deciding when it's time for one civilization to end and another one to begin.
And sometimes you should just go sit in a box with really cool lights.
Yeah, and these guys, they're cautious. Who is that intruding in my cave? My psychedelic cave of pleasure, I guess, there.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, hang on tight. It's going to be quite a trip as we go through, this period and going into an all-new era, because history has repeated itself so many times. Humanity is just one of the tribes that's gone through a Groundhog's Day of, basically blossoming, spreading, and then there's this end of it all of a sudden, and somebody new pops up.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Look forward to your comments. Thanks for your support. Source, bless, and namaste.
Namaste.